Snow was falling like it wanted to erase me. I was huddled at a bus stop in Millstone City, wrapped in a torn blanket that smelled like the public restroom I'd washed it in the night before. My fingers were so numb I couldn't feel the tips and my stomach. Well, it had given up growling days ago. 3 days on that bench. 3 weeks without a real roof. 6 months since my whole world collapsed. I used to have a job waitress at a diner that played old Motown songs and served pancakes till 2 a.m. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. Then one day, the place shut down with a note taped to the window. No warning, no severance, just gone. My landlord gave me a week. I tried. I swear I tried. Knocked on every door, filled out every application, begged for anything. But no one wants to hire someone with no address, no phone, no clean clothes. So there I was, invisible in a city full of people pretending not to see me. Until she walked up. Little pink boots, puffy coat, big, curious brown eyes that cut through the cold like they didn't even feel it. She stood in front of me like I was something worth noticing. "Hi," she said. "Are you cold?" It took everything in me to answer. "Yeah, sweetheart. Very." She frowned real serious-like and started unwrapping her scarf. "Here," she said, wrapping it around my neck with tiny, determined hands. "My daddy buys me lots. You don't have any." I tried to give it back. I really did. But she wouldn't hear it. "I'm Sophie," she told me. "I'm 4. "What's your name, Brielle?" I whispered. She looked me over with the kind of thoughtful stare only little kids and old ladies get away with. Then she said, "You need a home, and I need a mommy. Maybe we can help each other." And just like that, I forgot how cold I was. But before I could say a word, a man's voice called out loud, sharp, panicked, "Sophie." He ran toward us, expensive coat, perfect hair, a look that said he wasn't used to not being in control. He scooped her up, hugged her tight, then looked straight at me, not with judgment, but curiosity, and then kindness. "Sophie says your name's Brielle," he said. "I'm Marcus." He held out a gloved hand. "You've clearly made an impression." "I didn't ask for," "I know," he interrupted, she offered. "And you didn't take advantage. That says more than you know." That's when the other guy chimed in. Some Wall Street type who'd been watching from the corner, sneering. "People like her use kids to guilt-trip suckers like you," he muttered. "Classic scam." Marcus turned to him, calm, cold, powerful. "I think you should mind your own business." And just like that, the man slunk off like a dog kicked off the porch. I started to stand ready to leave before I ruined this man's day. But Marcus stopped me. "When's the last time you ate Tuesday?" I said. It was Friday. Without another word, he pulled out his phone. Maria set a table for 3. "And prepare the guest house." I blinked. "Mr. Marcus, I could be dangerous." He tilted his head. "Are you?" "No. But my daughter has great instincts," he said, holding out his hand. "Let's get you warm. The rest, we'll figure out." And for reasons I still don't fully understand, I took that hand. His home looked like something out of a movie. Highgate stone fountain, the kind of place you whisper in without knowing why. I kept thinking this couldn't be real, that at any moment someone would yell, "Cut," and send me back to that bench. But then came Maria, the housekeeper, with a sharp tongue and a soft heart. She looked me up and down, then said, "You're frozen. Come in, sit down, eat." And just like that, I belonged, even when I didn't believe it yet. Sophie took me on a grand tour like I was royalty. Her room looked like a castle exploded in pink and glitter. Her favorite part, showing me her dad's office. "He builds houses," she whispered, "for people who need homes." That hit me harder than she knew. Over the next few weeks, I became part of the routine. I helped Maria with chores, packed Sophie's lunch, read her bedtime stories when Marcus worked late. And slowly, without realizing, it stopped feeling like charity and started feeling like family. But I kept my guard up. I knew better than to dream too much. Until one night, Marcus knocked on the guest house door with 2 mugs of coffee and a look I couldn't read. "I wanted to say sorry for Sophie earlier," he said. "She called us a family. I don't want you to feel pressured." I looked at him, really looked at him, and asked, "Why'd you bring me home that day?" He took a long breath. "Because you were kind to my daughter when you had nothing. You didn't beg, you didn't hustle, you just saw her." Then softer, almost to himself, he added, "And she saw you." Silence stretched between us, warm and dangerous. "I think you're beautiful," he said. I laughed, nervous, bitter. "I'm homeless." "You're remarkable," he said without blinking. "That doesn't disappear because of a bad break." And that night, I let myself believe just a little. It didn't take long before Sophie started dropping hints like bricks. "You smile like Prince Eric when you see her daddy. You should marry her so we can all be a family." We tried to laugh it off, but she wasn't wrong. Maria noticed too. One day as we were folding laundry, she said, "That man hasn't smiled like this in years. And that little girl, she's blooming." Still, I kept telling myself it was temporary until the night Marcus came home late, stressed and exhausted. I stayed up to feed him. Just 1 plate of warm food, 1 quiet conversation. "You remind me why I started this company," he said. "You remind me who I used to be." And then standing barefoot in the kitchen, he reached for my hand. "This isn't about gratitude," he said. "I love you." I couldn't breathe, couldn't speak, so I kissed him. And the world tilted into something terrifying and perfect. A month later, he took me to a lake house. Candlelight. Music. Sunset over the water. And he knelt. With Sophie's voice playing in my head, "You better marry her before someone else does." I said yes before he even opened the ring box. We called her that night. She screamed so loud, Maria thought something exploded. Then she yelled, "I have a mommy!" The wedding was small, sweet, and soaked in tears. Sophie wore a pink flower crown and carried a sign that said, "I picked her." Before the vows, she handed me a bracelet. "Best mommy ever," it read. I cried like a baby. At the reception, Marcus kissed me, held our daughter between us, and said, "We're a family now." I whispered, "We always were." 6 months ago, I was invisible, a shadow in the snow. Now I'm someone's wife, someone's mother, someone worth seeing. All because a little girl didn't see a homeless woman. She saw a mommy. Crazy how love sneaks up when you've got nothing left. But tell me, if you were that man at the bus stop, would you have walked by or stopped? Would you believe someone like me deserved a second chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because sometimes the line between nobody and family is just one act of kindness wide. And maybe, just maybe, love really does find you when you need it most.